On three, 1, 2, 3.
Win!
The alley-oop! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Marcus Pavilion in Lacey, Washington for a battle of two Western Washington teams. One of them named Western Washington, the other a team that has been a force to be reckoned with in the Western Washington region over the last few years of D2 men's basketball. St. Martin's University and the Western Washington Vikings coming up very shortly. Scott Gladstone and Lauren Morris with you. On the other side of the starters and the national anthem, we'll talk to you about the game and we'll get you right into action. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back on the Saints Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, the benedicts with our national anthem. Thank you very much to the benedicts. Let's go ahead and meet the Vikings. The 6'4" junior at the wall is Ty Johnson. Ty Johnson, Vikings number 3, T-John Zane. A 6'9" senior, number 13, Jonathan Ned. A 6'9" junior, number 20, Nick Bell. And a 6'4" junior, number 44, Will Wilson. They're coached by Tony DeMundian in his 12th season, AJ Alfred, Bob Hofstetter, Tyler Buchanan. Gentlemen, it's time to get on your feet to meet the Saints. A 6'8" senior, Taylor Morgan, number 1 is Mike Thompson. A 6'8" senior, Bruno Washington, number 3, Nathaniel Stokes. A 6'5" senior, St. Martin. Number 5, Kyle Greeley. 5'2" junior for Sam Morgan. Number 11 is Jake Nielsen Skinner. And the man in the middle is 6'8" junior for St. Croix Virgin Islands. Number 32 is Shaquille Al Tindor. Their manager's fourth season. Chosen by Dan Valdez, Wesley Railroad.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Those are your starters read out across the intercom. I'll tell you them one more time. Your starting lineup brought to you by Forelli's Pizza. For the Western Washington Vikings, it is Kai Johnson, Tijan Sane, Jonathan Ned, Nick Velp, and Will Wilson. The unfortunate news is that B.J. Colley, the reigning freshman of the year in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference, is out. Tip is going to be between Velp and Shaquem, won by Shaquem Alcindor. St. Martin starting lineup brought to you by Pirelli's is Ty Thompson, Nate Stokes, Kyle Greeley, Jaden Nielsen-Skinner, a.k.a. Skinny, and Shaquem Alcindor, who gets it now guarded by Velp. That one, tough bounce out of the hoop for him. Those starting lineups were brought to you by Pirelli's Pizza. Great people make great pizza. On the Saints side, they are unfortunately without, I believe, a lead candidate for freshman of the year this year in Caden Hansen, as we get a double dribble called over there in the corner on Velp. So two key players out, and now I'll welcome in Lauren Morris for the first time. Lauren, how are we doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Night off. For those of you who don't know how the GNAC schedule works, everybody has a travel partner, and on the week that you play your travel partner, you get Thursday off. That is the case for Lauren and the St. Martin's women's basketball team. They play Western Oregon on Saturday, but a rare day without a game where you'll be calling one as well. This is a matchup between two sides that I introduced. They have been very good amongst West Region teams, and as that one's kicked, somewhat of a rivalry between the St. Martin's team and Western Washington, especially on this men's side. This is a 2012 National Championship Western Washington program and a Saint squad that has been dominant in the GNAC in the West Region over the past couple years. Ty Thompson gets it. He'll fire a three ball and doesn't go for him. Rebound goes to Ned. Coming the other way, Saints in the zone look. Kai Johnson wears number 1. He's in blue for Western Washington. He is one of the top scorers in the country, and he just gave that one to Welp, and Welp missed a bunny, but eventually the pass will go to Ned as it's bounced around, and an and one as Ned gets the finish, fouled by Shaquem Alcindor. Checking in for the first time is Janko Drama. One shot for Ned. Ned, a transfer from the University of Georgia. Free throw goes in and out. Rebound will eventually go to Tyke Thompson after he had some pressure from behind by the German Drama. 2-0. First points of the game go to the Vikings of Western Washington. St. Martin's has won 6 straight against the Vikings. Tyke Thompson from the elbow evens up the score at 2. We'll be taking a look around the league constantly tonight as we have officially entered the second half of the season. And that's a nice opportunity there for Ned, but he couldn't finish. Officially entered the second half of the season. That means with February starting, things start to get very interesting, as that one, I think, was an air ball. It looked really nice straight on for us, but nothing but net. The bottom of the net, not the through the cylinder and down the net. Stokes, turnaround, missed it, and Shaquem Alcindor pokes it out, trying to get the rebound. When you get to this halfway point in the season, Lauren, kind of what's the mindset, especially, I mean, St. Martin's, they're eyeing trying to win a third straight regular season crown, and they are within striking distance of that. Western Washington are trying not to miss the conference tournament for a second straight year. What's the mindset? How much do you start to think about kind of the picture as you get down the stretch, as that's a nice shot by Ned?
I mean, honestly, you know, it's hard to beat a team once, but it's hard to beat them 2 times. You know, so I think just kind of going into the second half of the season, a lot of it is just trying to either, you know, trying to get a win and then just see how everything just plays out from there, because the GNAC is it's so unpredictable. On the men's side, it's a little bit more predictable, but on the women's side, especially right now, we have a lot of ties right now, fourth and second, and even first, so for things like that. So just going after second half season, it's definitely just about securing a win. So if you did it the first time, doing it a second time is so much harder. But if you didn't do it a first time, it's always kind of just going back to the drawing board, seeing what you maybe missed, and then seeing just what you can do better moving forward.
Against the Saints, Western Washington had a lot of offensive success. These two teams played an offensive barn burner their first game. It was 112 to 105, which is an NBA scoreline. That is not a college basketball scoreline. Rarely do you see a team hit 100 and not win a game in a college basketball game, especially in a regulation college basketball game. I guess if you get overtime or a couple extra periods, maybe both teams are more akin to hit 100. As Sane puts it out to Ned. 4-4 contest right now. These two teams combined for a lot of points last time. Ned scores again. He has 6 quick points. Tyke Thompson can't get it to go from three-point land. Rebound goes to Will Wilson.
This is how it kind of was last time, though. Even though I wasn't there, I tuned in to watch the game. A lot of the first half was kind of just them going back and forth, point for point. So.
Yeah, it is going to be an offensive contest today. These are two of the top offensive teams in the country. They went shot for shot in Bellingham just under a month ago. And in the first 4 minutes and change, they are going shot for shot today. We will be on a quick break on the Saints Digital Network at 6-4. Western Washington leads.
It's also involves students from the following school districts: Bellevue, Bethel, Beauregard, Fairway, Francisville, Puyallup, Kobe, Gill, Mount Clemson, and Olympia for your partnership in St. Martin Direct Admissions Program. For more information about St. Martin, please visit our admissions and financial aid team over at Burley's Courtside Club.
Welcome back here. Tonight is SMU admissions night, and so if you saw it there, we are just welcoming a bunch of the admissions staff onto the floor. Hopefully a handful of prospective students making their way down and seeing a great environment here. Kyle Greeley, perfect little turnaround. We see that a lot from KG. Kai Johnson to bring it up. Got hand-checked a little bit there by KG. Goes uncalled. Kai Johnson is one of the top players in the country in terms of scoring and also getting fouled. He goes to the free throw line a lot. Ned is being absolutely hounded by Jay Sean Moore, and eventually a foul is called. Ned, who has all 6 points, will now head to the free throw line for the second time. He is 0 for 1 today on the season. Jonathan Ned shoots 77% from the free throw line, and he makes that one. He is up to 50% on the day. A lot of Washington, more Washington kids on this Western Washington squad than Washington kids on the St. Martin's basketball team. That would a lot be akin to the fact that Western Washington is a state school, St. Martin's is a private school. There's a lot of differences between these institutions. They're geographically in the same ballpark, obviously, here out in the Pacific Northwest. Both on the shores of the Puget Sound, very different parts as Sane hits the deck, gets the offensive foul call on Kyle Greeley. But these two institutions are very different. About 20 20-something thousand difference in enrollment. Obviously, the public-private thing going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to see schools that are so starkly contrasted match up on the court, especially when the team that has a lot less students has had the upper hand. 3-ball from Kyle Greeley. Saints take their first lead of the game. Sane with it. Out to Velp. Velp for 3. Ooh, that one did not have the finishing touches on it. Too long. And I don't think it hit much rim there, just backboard. Tyke Thompson's just going to pull up. And that one doesn't corral inside the hoop. Kai Johnson has been held scoreless thus far. He averages over 22 per game. And now he goes to work. Tries to drop a truck stick on the Saints defenders in there. Can't get a call. And now Jayshawn Moore down the hole gets it to go.
I mean, he almost found the basket on that shot, though.
Yeah.
I don't even think he had the basket really in his, like in his eye line. And he almost made it.
Well, Kai Johnson is listed at 6'4", but to me, as that three-pointer goes down by Velp, we're all tied. Kai Johnson is listed at 6'4", but I think that's a Caden Hansen 6'4". I don't think he touches that. That's a very generous mark as that one's missed. I don't know. Let me and him stand back to back. I think I'm taller than him, but you know. And to me, I think list yourself as shorter. If you're a point guard, list yourself as shorter because that just makes it more impressive. And that was an impressive shot right there by Tijan Sane. Miles Samuels with it.
I think this game is really going to come down to who can hold who to, to scoring less, honestly. No, because I mean, Weston is they're almost averaging about like 93 points a game. I mean, that's a lot of points.
That is a ton, and obviously the defense has a long way to come for them, as I'm sure that was a tough locker room conversation after allowing 112, scoring 105, and coming up short. Kai Johnson offensive rebound, and he puts it in. And there we see how Kai Johnson gets a lot of his points. Count it, and the foul for Jayshawn Moore.
You know what? I mean, I think it's really nice to see Jayshawn Moore get out and run the floor. I think he was doing that, just a little bit during the first half of the season. But I think if he can really incorporate that into his game and into maybe, the Saints offense, I honestly think they don't really going to have to set very much up. Those are easy buckets, easy points, and then they more have to worry about, defense.
Well, in a situation like this, he is out there. He's the big right now. And when you get a big sprinting down the floor like that, that's a dangerous thing to deal with.
Well, especially because I think he's kind of like an unconventional 5.
Yeah.
He's like
to bring the ball up the floor.
Yeah. He's really like a stretch, like 4, maybe even a 3 on some teams, if they have bigger dudes. But it's nice to see him in that 5 position, being able to run the floor like that.
He's essentially running the 5 right now. I think Marcus Lenker is probably the 4 in there, as the Saints are in man-to-man, but they bring a double. Three-pointer on the way. Missed. Good box out by everybody on the floor. Marcel Stevens gets to it. Stevens goes behind the back, gets it to Samuels. Now slowing it up. Samuels one-on-one, guarded by Morrow, and drains the three-point bucket. Samuels from deep. Rotating it around, we also see Darius Gary on the floor for the first time. He had a touch there. Now a three-pointer on the way from Will Wilson, and a foul will be called on Skinny on the box out. They're going to say that he held at some point. Timeout on the floor. It's the track meet we all signed up for, 19-16, not even halfway gone. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back on the Saints Digital Network.
So let's get excited as our Saints cheer team throws Quick Start mini basketballs into the stands. Saints athletes are proud to partner with Quick Start Credit Union, a fixture on our campus for over 30 years.
Welcome back here. We're going to take a look around the league real quick just to let you know what games are going on. As I mentioned, we're getting closer to the end of the season as we are officially over the halfway point. And I can tell you as the inbound will about to come in under the basket, Kai Johnson to do the inbounding. Throws it up to Morrow. Back to Johnson. Johnson will have a three, and he misses it. Another offensive rebound. Saints getting beat on the boards right now on the offensive glass. Sane with it. Sane to the bucket. Nice finish from Sane. That breaks up a 6-0 run by the Saints. So, at the start of the second half in Billings, Montana, Montana State Billings, if that makes sense to you. As turnover there will head it the other way. A chance for Western Washington to take lead. Billings takes on Northwest Nazarene. As a layup by Morrow gives the Vikings the lead. 37-33 at the half. Yellow Jackets lead NNU. Saints are going to be rooting against Billings most of the way if they want a three-peat as regular season conference champions. Skinny goes off back iron and a miss. Poked out briefly, but then Wilson gets it and pushes up the floor. Sane to Kai Johnson. Johnson guarded by Stevens, and on the inside, he can't get the finishing touches. Nearly another offensive rebound, but Lanker gets it. Other games going on. Western Oregon takes on Simon Fraser. Right now, it's Red Leafs up 19-15 as no fouls called on Skinny attacking the bucket. He went palms up wanting to call. Kai Johnson hesitates, and a foul will be called on the floor. The other men's game is Central Washington and Seattle Pacific. The women's version just finished up, and Seattle Pacific came away with the upset victory over Central Washington. If the men are able to follow suit and upset Central Washington, it'll be a great night to be a Falcons fan, as Central Washington, the men's team, has been red hot in this January kind of window. They look like one of the more dangerous men's teams in the GNAC. That's a partial block, I think, by Shaquem Alcindor. As the Saints now bring it up the floor. Marcel Stevens for three. Missed it. Rebound goes to Gary. This is up and down. Ned to the bucket. Got it to go. 3-point lead. Oh, it's nice when they take more than 2 seconds to bring it up the floor. I have a chance to catch my breath for a moment. Velp guarding Shaquem, foul called.
He did that exact same move against Alaska Anchorage, and I almost ran on the court. I really, if you guys can't tell, I am a Shaquem lover. We're really good friends. I love him. I love him as a player too, but I absolutely love it when, when bigger, Power Fives, when they put the ball on the floor. I really do, because nobody can stop that. You know what I mean? So, and he did it at Alaska Anchorage, and it was so good. It was a little farther out too. He took 2 dribbles. It was nice. It was really good.
Yeah, I know from watching you play, you're a big power dribble, the 2-hand power dribble.
Yeah,
you get an offensive rebound out of the hoop, you go with the power dribble. Haven't seen that much from Shaquem. But we have seen him knock 1 of 2 free throws down there. 22-20. Western Washington has the lead over St. Martin. St. Martin's ranked number 4 in the D2 College Sports Communicators Poll, number 7 in the Coaches Poll. Out to Velp. Velp missed it. Rebound will get to Shaquem eventually. Nearly another offensive rebound as Lanker under the basket will be able to lay it in. Perfectly run fast break. Tie this game back up. We've already seen a lot of threes be taken by both sides, but a lot by Western Washington. Problem about the 3 ball is there's a lot of long rebounds that are tricky to grasp, and Saints have struggled with it. Sane will travel. 7 threes attempted by Western and 8 attempted by St. Martin's, actually. So I just lied. I felt like Western Washington had taken more. That's on me. Skinny will bring it up. 5 on the floor for the Saints is Skinny, Lanker, Samuels, who touches it now, Alcindor, and Stevens. Stevens. High arcing 3, missed it. Rebound, Skinny. Stevens will try again. This time it's true. Saints back in front. Oh, this is going to be.
It's going to go back and forth. It's just going to go back and forth.
Foul's going to be called on the floor. That one looked like it could have been a moving screen just as much as it could have been a foul on the Saints, but the Vikings will get the benefit of the doubt. And Kai Johnson will head to the free throw line. Kai Johnson has shot 156 free throws this year.
Wow.
Nobody else on his team has come that close to 100. The leader for the Saints, Kyle Greeley, has shot 73. So
156. Wow, that's a lot.
156 free throws.
Wow.
He averages 22.8 points per game, and he shoots 77% from the free throw line. If he shot a little bit higher, he could be averaging 25 a game.
Yeah.
Easily.
Wow.
And he's a really good shooter, really great offensive player. If he gets that over 80, watch out, because he becomes more dangerous of a player, which is hard to say about somebody as phenomenal as Kai Johnson. That one in and out, rebound Velp.
How many do you think a game he's like shooting? Probably 10? 10 or more, maybe?
They've played 20 games, 156 divided by 20. I won't impress you that much with my math off the top of my head, as that one's put in by Will Wilson. But I will take out my handy-dandy pocket calculator. Foul on the ground. 156 divided by 20 is 7.8 per game.
Wow, that's still a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot of trips to the free throw line. He got 15 points alone on free throws against the St. Martin Saints in that triple-figure battle up in Bellingham. Western Washington has the lead right now. The St. Martin's volleyball team is being honored on the court here. We will take a quick break as the volleyball team gets recognized. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network.
University transmitted 3 players being named to the All-GMAC team. Serena Corrado, freshman of the year. Carla Soto, first team All-GMAC. And Emily Carton, All-GMAC honorable mention. Their great young toughness, team culture has become better this year and will make them even better further next season. Let's give one last round of applause.
Welcome back. Shaquem Alcindor under the basket with it. A little spinorama. Takes some contact, still get it to go. No foul called as he's being guarded by the 7-foot listed Janko Drama, who has it right now. Now it's Kai Johnson, guarded by Kyle Greeley. Shaquem switched on him, and a missed shot. Rebound Samuels. Great box out by Skinny under the bucket there, who was boxing out Will Wilson. Kyle Greeley, he had to adjust that one late. Could not get it to go. Ned all the way to the hoop. Dangles his legs out there and catches a Saint, gets a foul call, and Ned will go to the line. Looked like he was doing a successful job getting through Saints, and somehow got glanced by one. Fouls right now are 8-3 in favor of Western Washington. I'm sure that is something that head coach Aaron Landon will point out to the refs at some point if he hasn't already. In and out. And Kyle Greeley does a good job to get that rebound after it looked like Darius Gary had it won. Gary, a JUCO product out of Portland Community College. Samuels with it, guarded by Gary. Greeley, guarded by Ned. Now Skinny versus Saint. That ball ends up in the second row. Got to keep your head on a swivel there. You got the courtside seats. Skinny, trying to be fancy, no look that one, but put it right in between two of his teammates. Western Washington with a 1-point lead. Scoring is slowed down a little bit, mainly because both sides are one of their last 5 3-pointers. Wilson attacks Tyke Thompson, and a nice finish by the Virginia native over Thompson. Out to the corner, Stevens sets, pops it. Now Skinny in stride, splashes it home. Tie ball game at 30 apiece. Sane pushes it up quickly. Now to the hoop, missed it. Ball up in the air. Kyle Greeley is being boxed out as he grabs it, and a foul will be called on Greeley there? I don't know about that one. He was grabbing the rebound and falling away from the defender. I thought the foul was going to be called on. Apparently,
I think with the foul count already at like 9-3,
it begins to feel like everything's going against you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Free throws missed. So as the kids say, ball don't lie, but a miss by Stevens the other way. And now, of course, a foul called, count it, and the bucket. Foul's now at 10-3. It stays lopsided. It's not hard to go too far to say that games played by Western Washington have a lot of free throws taken. As Ned gets the steal, he's going to go all the way and slam it down. Timeout, St. Martin's. The game, Western Washington averages 20 free throws made per game, and they average 17 against them per game. For the Saints, it's 12 and 12. They make 12, they allow 12 per game. That is a huge difference when we look at average per game. Right now, they are making a living, taking advantage of Saints' mistakes, and a little bit at the free throw line as well. We'll take a quick break on the Saints Digital Network. Never mind, we'll just stay with you as it is only a 30-second timeout. And I'm sure you're not too sick of hearing our voice. 5:07 to go, 35-30. Western Washington with the lead. Skinny will bring it up. 5 on the floor for the Saints is Skinny, Thompson, Greeley, Stokes, and Lenker. Kyle Greeley with it. Pump fake, goes under, gets a foul call, misses it, can't get the and one to go. That is one that I feel like we almost all the time see Kyle Greeley make that.
And I feel like it's always something with this hoop, kind of like with this area in the first half, where buckets are usually just going in and out.
Yep.
So usually, definitely, he usually always knocks that down.
That's why you switch as.
Yeah, through the second half.
Yeah, exactly. You get a chance at each bucket. One isn't feeling you, at least you got the next one. Free throw made by KG. KG, an 81% free throw shooter from the line. St. Martin's, the men's team, split their games up in Alaska this past week. It was a balmy -30. Tell me the true student-athlete's perspective, because you were on that trip as well. What is that Alaska trip like? What's your review of it after just coming fresh off of it?
I mean, the experience going to Alaska is always great. Super grateful that I get to go and do that. I've been doing it for so long now. But that weather it's brutal. It's really brutal. So, you can't go outside, just with one sweatshirt and a pair of, like, flimsy sweats. Like, you have to go strapped up all, like, after shoot around, after practice, coming from the hotel, going into the car. Like, yeah, the weather's harsh out there. It's a little bit better in Anchorage. It's way worse in Fairbanks, though. So I give kudos to the to the athletes that are up there, because it's not for me. So not for me at all.
Skinny for three. Saints need a bucket after Sane has scored 5 straight for Western Washington. Kyle Greeley took a lot of contact and missed a shot for the Saints on possession a few moments ago. Now it's Kai Johnson that'll pull up. He can't get it to go. Rebound Stokes. Ty Thompson will get it. Thompson throws it off of the glass again. He gets a lot of contact again. No call. Saints snaffle it back, and then a clear grab of the arm of Skinny, and that's what it takes for the Saints to get a foul call. We're going to take a quick break on the Saints Digital Network. It is the Saints down by 8. They'll have the ball when we come back. 3:28 to go in the first half.
Visit the admissions table over at the Corrales Courtside Club to enter a raffle for a chance to win a $1,000 scholarship. One prospective senior and one prospective transfer student will win. Entries will be accepted through the final buzzer. The winners will be announced on our Instagram tomorrow. Follow St. Martin's Admissions to see if you won and for other exciting Saints content. See you at our table in the Corrales Courtside Club now.
Welcome back here. Saints down by 8 right now. They'll inbound. Tyke Thompson heading it to Jaden Nielsen Skinner, who I'll call Skinny. That's just so you know. I feel like I just got to catch people up that don't know. I don't want to say however many syllables that is for Jaden Nielsen Skinner. Out to Tyke Thompson, who thought about a 3. Doesn't get it off. 10 on the shot clock now. Tyke Thompson still thinking about a 3. Now gets it to Stokes. Stokes will fire for 3. Saints need it. They get an offensive rebound. Moore with the putback. 40-34. And quickly up the court per usual, Western Washington. Billings up by 6 on Northwest Nazarene right now. That shot is missed. Rebound, Jay-Sean Moore. Can he continue to be a spark plug? Talked about it. He brings it up the floor right now. Gets it to Kyle Greeley. Greeley taking a lot of contact once again and is able to make the layup. The refs continue to be frugal in their foul calls on Western Washington. The Saints continue to fight through it. We'll take another quick break. Timeout, Western Washington on the floor. Don't touch that dive. Welcome back. It is 40-36, just under 2.5 minutes to go. Dijon Sane brings it up. Redshirt freshman out of Mariner High School, which is in Everett, Washington, north of Seattle. Kai Johnson, turnaround, nice shot from Kai Johnson, the hometown kid. Once a year guaranteed to play in the town in which he was raised. Stokes, with a Viking on his back, will head to the line. Kai Johnson's a very interesting story. Went largely unrecruited out of high school. He was not on Aaron Landon's map, nor was he on Tony Dominguez's radar at all. Obviously, went to the in-state institution up the road in Bellingham. About 2-hour drive, a little over 2 hours, 2.5, I think.
Yeah.
You usually could take a bus there, so maybe even it's a little bit longer. Seattle traffic will sway it, but headed all the way up the road there to Western and was able to find a way to walk on to the team. And he has started off as very much a role player his first year at Western Washington. Last year kind of developed into one of those key members, and this year he is a clear star in the making, one of the best players in the GNAC, if not the country, and he will head to the line as we speak of him, averaging 22 points per game. And Kai Johnson, see how many.
6. Well,
six
yeah, 6
today.
right now.
Saints keeping him in check. Jonathan Ned's the one going nuts. He is 3 for 3 from the free throw line, and that means he's up to 124 free throws on the year. This could be 125 if he splashes at home. And he does. 125 free throws made this year. Again, for comparison's sake, his closest teammate is at 79. That's Tijon Sane. For the Saints, their top free throw shooter has 59 made free throws.
Jeez.
And it's, I compared, I think I talked with you a little bit pregame about kind of my thought. It's a lot like Angel Galbraith in the sense of like, one, you attack the basket a lot. You force referees to make calls. Two, and I've said this on your guys' broadcast, there's an art in selling a foul call. Angel Galbraith of our women's team is very good. She had those kind of numbers last year for the Saints. It's gone back a little bit this year for her, but points at the free throw line are still points. Speaking of, Skinny makes his first free throw. His second one is up and good. Sane will bring it down, slowing it up a little bit. 5-point lead for Western Washington, trying to go into the locker room with an advantage. Fouls are 10-7 right now. Saints are still in man-to-man defense. Cross-court pass finds Ned. Ned then attacks. He's got double team in the corner and over the backboard makes that shot. That is an incredible make from Ned. Offensive foul call once again. The call goes the way of the Vikings. Five on the floor for Western Washington is Wilson, Ned, Sane, Kai Johnson, and Darius Geary. 7-point lead. Tyke Thompson nearly takes it away. Now Ned almost out of control a little bit. Able to corral it, get that one to go. 9-point lead. Saints will try and manage this last minute to make sure they're not down double figures going into the locker room. Skinny gets a screen set by Stokes. Now looks at Samuels. Samuels inside. Nice drop step on Kai Johnson. And Samuels made that one look pretty easy. He's listed only 1 foot taller than Kai Johnson. And again, that's my...
I'm so sorry.
It looks like he's got him by more than an inch there.
I think we need to up my roster height, Scott. That's what I'm thinking. I want to be listed as 6'5", please. I think that's only fair.
Samuels with his toe on the line splashes down a long 2. 5-point lead. Last shot will come by Western Washington here. Ned will fire from long range. Way too long. Ball goes in and out. And at the buzzer, blocked by Nate Stokes.
Okay. Now if Jonathan Ned, if he would have made that, I think that would have been, I don't know.
That would have been very deflating.
Yes. But I think that would have gave Western Washington a lot of momentum going into the second half. I mean, I know we're going into halftime right now, but coming back into the second half, I think that would have given them all the steam going forward, for the next 20 minutes.
Well, and the Saints finished that on a great Miles Samuels. He had that post move on Kai Johnson. They got a block from Skinny, which this is the third straight home game that we've seen a block from Skinny. I don't know at what point he has morphed into Shaquem Alcindor, but
I think he's eating his Wheaties. That's what I think. I think he's just pounding the Wheaties. I think he was. I think he was kind of like a little sad just being left out of the conversation, for blocks. He's kind of like the assist king right now, in the GNAC. So I think he wanted to be in another category. So I totally feel that.
He is climbing the blocks leaderboards in the GNAC. St. Martin's finishes the half on a run. However, Western Washington, with 48 points in that first half, they have a 5-point lead going into the locker room. The Saints need to show something in half number 2. The number 4 team in the country battling with Western Washington. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the other side of halftime. Welcome back. We are just about ready to get going here. Half number 2. Scott Gladstone and Lauren Morris with you. It is a 48-43 contest. 5-point lead for Western Washington. They start with the ball here. Saints back out in the 2-3 zone. We are so accustomed to seeing them in. Quick passing by the Vikings. Kai Johnson playing up on the high post. Looking down low to Velp. He goes cross court to Ned. Ned juggles it and fires an air ball. And Stokes could have grabbed that one. He held off on it. And they say that the ball is the Vikings. Sometimes.
I think it's just a little unfortunate. I think it's just a little unfortunate.
Yeah. That one's tough. Because it seems like the ref's trying to outsmart the players when that happens. Kai Johnson, step back, makes it for 3. That's a huge call, saying that ball went out off St. Martin's instead of Western. Now a 3-point swing. Stokes with it. Stokes a pump fake, puts it on the ground, gets it out to Greeley. Greeley on line for 3. Stokes with a good find. Now Sane looking out. Saints trying to go back to this defense. Now Sane looking over. Wilson. Wilson misses it. Rebound Shaquem. And a foul will be called. It took quite a bit. I mean, because he got knocked off his rocker there on the rebound. And after he nearly stumbled, the ref was kind of forced into making the call, or else he would have had to probably get close to calling travel. It's not an easy task to knock over Shaquem Alcindor.
No, not at all.
Skinny trying to go off glass. Speaking of, Alcindor with the offensive rebound. And eventually it will go to Kai Johnson coming this way. He loses it. Then Wilson falling out of bounds, keeps it in. And Western has possession. Wilson then in the corner. And Shaquem Alcindor takes the charge.
He does it all. He does it. I'm going to say this again. He does it all.
He does it all. 1 3-pointer made on the year. I was checking the facts when you said he does it all. Mm-hmm. Because if he had a 0 on that 3-point column, wouldn't be able to say that, but he has 1 3. He has a couple charges taken. And, he's a nice guy, too. The all-around complete player.
Yes, this is a complete package.
And speaking of, he tried to put a poster up, but he is fouled from behind. We got a thrilling contest going on in eastern/central Montana right now. It is Billings down by 3 against Northwest Nazarene. We will keep you updated on that one. I'm sure the final 2 minutes of that contest will go slowly as the teams will have the timeout battle back and forth essentially. And fouls and all that great fun that make the end of a basketball game take so long. Free throw missed by Shaquem. He'll shoot his second now. Second free throw is good. 4-point game. I'll mention again that Caden Hansen is out today. The official diagnosis is a ankle sprain. Do not know exactly how long he'll be back. I was told by head coach Aaron Landon that he really wanted to play today, though, and they kind of had to stop him from hurting himself more. As Kyle Greeley takes some contact, misses it, gets the offensive rebound, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
It's kind of funny how we're seeing the referees, I think, switch sides a little here. Because right now the foul count is 4-0.
Yep. And head coach Tony Dominguez there, I'm sure, will let them know that maybe they have swung too far in the wrong direction. First free throw's missed by Greeley. Trying to orientate himself after being fouled earlier. Taking the hit and going to the line, never easy. Makes the second. 3-point game now. Saints once again in the zone. On the floor is their starting lineup. Stokes, Skinny, Thompson, Greeley, and Shaquem. I've used everybody's last name except for Shaquem. It feels weird to call him Alcindor.
It sounds a little aggressive, honestly.
Yeah.
Just a tad bit.
Yeah. Foul is called, I believe, on Shaquem Alcindor. Timeout called by Western Washington. The Vikings have come in here. They have not been trepid at all against the nationally ranked foe. We will take a quick break on the Saints Digital Network. Welcome back here. Inbounds going into Western Washington. The three-point game. This one's going to be down to the wire. These two teams went shot for shot in Bellingham in a 112 to 105 battle. And I'm sure they're going to continue to go shot for shot here. And right as I say that, they missed a shot, but the offensive rebound is out after Sane couldn't get that to go. That was great defense on Sane, straight up by the Saints to avoid getting the foul calls, which stung them so often in the first half. They committed 12 fouls to Western Washington 7. Skinny with it, guarded by Sane. Ooh, Greeley might have had a step on Wilson. Samuels, step back. Nearly Brandon Bunn-esque kind of in the way he moved his body there. Wilson now looking to the corner. Gary almost taken away. Ned to the hoop. Ned floats it up. Ned puts it through. Great finish by Ned, who is at 20 points, I believe, now. He is. He's at 20. Kai Johnson at 11. Sane at 10. He had a flurry of points to end that second half, right before the Saints kind of had their run. This one's off back iron. Offensive rebound goes to Miles Samuels, but he throws it intercepted. Ned coming the other way. Wilson rotating around. Sane now all the way to the corner. Gary, he was high-fived there as he shot it. That's a foul call. And it is 3 shots coming for Darius Gary. Timeout on the floor. We'll take another quick break on the Saints Digital Network. Lead could be pushed up to 8 by Western Washington when we return. welcome back here. The St. Martin Saints are about to see 3 free throws taken by Darius Gary. Gary has appeared in all 20 games this season. He has a 83% mark for the free throw line. We are keeping a close eye on the end of the Northwest Nazarene MSU Billings game. MSU Billings currently in sole possession of first place. If the St. Martin Saints win tonight, which right now they are fighting to do so, and Northwest Nazarene beats MSU Billings, it'll be the Saints tied with MSUB for the lead in the GNAC. And the Saints currently have the head-to-head with a win here at Marcus Pavilion. Right now it's a 3-point game. MSUB just fired a 3 and missed it. Rebound goes to NNU, and a foul will be called. Gary made all 3 free throws, so now the Saints are down 8 here, but it looked like Northwest Nazarene, they're going to have 2 free throws with 8 seconds to go, up by 3, so a chance to make it a 2-possession game. It looks like NNU is going to pull the upset on the road in the Big Sky State. Oh my goodness. That was nearly Skinny breaking his own ankle. Gets it out to Greeley, who misses the 3-pointer. Saints need to tap back in to find some more offense here. Ball lost by Ned, picked up by Samuels. Samuels with Welp in front of him. Skinny finds Samuels, and they're going to call a foul, or a traveling, on Miles Samuels. Saints, their lone home loss of the year came to NNU, who have been more of road warriors than they have been home players this year. They've struggled a little bit at home, but they are really close right now to beating the top 2 teams in the men's side on the road. And they lost to Billings at home. Cross-court pass. Now out to the corner. And a foul is called. This game is feeling like it has some of that NNU feeling, though, where teams start to kind of get in a rhythm and then fouls are called. And that obviously didn't go the way of the Saints when they lost to NNU in their GNAC opener. Four-point lead for NNU in Billings with 8 seconds to go. It will be Billings ball. I'll let you know when that one's final. This ball is arched in the air. Gets it to Gary. Now to Ned. Ned, contested shot, airballs it. Skinny rotates it to the corner. Stokes. And eventually, Jay-Sean Moore puts it in. Velp hits the deck. Talked about this a lot in the early part of the season, but they are slowing down. They're trying to hit the brakes on flopping calls right there. That's one kind of tough. You'd think at least they would want that one called. If they're not going to call it an offensive foul, then it has to be a flop, you'd think. Mm-hmm. But I'm also kind of fine with them just taking it back unless it's really egregious. Ned misses the layup after he takes a lot of contact. Skinny brings it up the floor. Stevens in the corner, stops his feet, gets it back to Skinny. Now out to Greeley. Greeley loses it, gets it back. He's tripped up, and that is how play will eventually be held up. It is a Northwest Nazarene upset win over MSU Billings. St. Martin's is playing to put themselves once again back in first place. NNU, the Nighthawks, have done them a favor. As we take a look at the standings, that puts Billings now at 8-2, a half game up on St. Martin's. Northwest Nazarene in a battle with Central Washington for that number 3 spot. They still can make a run at the regular season crown, don't get me wrong, with still plenty of basketball to be played. They move to 7-3. If the Saints lose tonight, then they're tied with NNU for third, possibly higher. Wilson all the way to the bucket, puts it in. Skinny brings it out, back up very quick. He goes all the way. He lays it right back in. A quick answer. That was all Kyle Greeley to get that ball into Skinny, who pushed it up the floor. 6-point lead for Western, 13 and change to go.
I think the Saints looking to push the ball in transition. is what really is going to help, them generate more points right now. So I think the faster they can get the ball up the floor and the less they have to maybe, set up plays or set up, any type of, kind of like thing in the half court, I think it's going to benefit them.
Skinny, a high arcing shot there, and on the floor, a foul is called on Nathaniel Stokes. Wilson made a shot for Western. A nice mid-range that gave the Vikings an 8-point lead. Saints, obviously they're top 10 ranked team in the country for a reason. They have an explosive offense, one of the best in the country, alongside an offense like this Western Washington squad, which has always played so well. And now they pull out Shaquem Alcindor to get out of the 2-3. Kai Johnson tries to shoot it over him, but probably not what you want to do against a guy that has, as the roster said, at least a couple inches on you. Shaquem then gets the job done on the offensive side. Greeley will get an assist. Velp, was open in the corner. He's asking for it on that low block. He gets it. And a trap to the baseline. Gary has it. Gary gets it out to Wilson. Wilson then looking at Ned under the basket. And Ned puts a difficult shot off glass. And Western Washington continues to keep this lead with a little bit of a cushion as the ball goes inside to Shaquem. Shaquem bullies his way to the bucket again. Problem is, if they leave Velp on an island there with Shaquem and no knock to him, he's a big that can shoot the ball really well, but just body for body, pound for pound, he does not match up with Shaquem very well under the basket. Speaking of, that pass is too crisp, and he did not like where his teammate Gary gave him the ball. As we have a break on the Saints Digital Network. It is a 6-point lead. Saints ball. When we come back, don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It is a 6-point lead for for Western Washington University over St. Martin's University. The number 4 team in the country by 1 point, number 7 by another. The 5 on the floor for the nationally ranked Saints are Skinny, Shaquem, Stevens, Greeley, and Jay-Sean Moore. Pick and roll attempted there. Now looking down low. Ned is guarding Shaquem. Shaquem turns to the bucket and gets another one. Shaquem taking over. Four-point game. Kai Johnson now, and they're going to do this kind of play where they pull Shaquem out. A step back, toes on the line. It's a long 2 by Kai Johnson. Out to Jay-Sean Moore now the other way. They put the 7-foot drama on Shaquem. Skinny for 3. Can't get it to go. 2 pops off the front of the rim. Just doesn't roll. Now under the basket, Ned gets it, then to Drama. Drama a little Nice move to get it off glass, and it is a lead back up to 8 for Western Washington. Marcel Stevens with it. Stevens nearly has the ball plucked away. Now he's held up in the key briefly, gets it to Greeley. Greeley guarded by Ned, all the way to the hoop. High off glass, missed shot, then a block by Ned. Stevens poked it away, nearly took it back. Now Sane with it. And Kai Johnson will fire for 3, in and out. Rebound goes to Wilson, cross court to Ned. Ned, he goes long. Moore tips it out, Greeley gets it. Greeley goes a 2-on-1, out to Skinny. Skinny, long time to set, and he pops it home. Out of all that fiasco emerges a Jaden Nielsen Skinner 3. Wow. This game is the gift that keeps on giving. Kai Johnson now. Again, Shaquem will come out to guard him. Then he attacks on Shaquem, and that was a foul sold by head movement. As, again, it's something I say for our women's point guard, Angel Galbraith. And she has an advantage, too, because she has long hair. That, like, when you go inside and you get some contact, if you allow your head to kind of move with the contact, I think that helps you get the call. And the numbers don't lie for Kai Johnson. He gets a lot of calls, but he also, has to force the ref to make the call in a situation like that. That's exactly what he does. Makes the first free throw. Six-point lead. In and out. Inadvertent buzzer there. I don't know why that happened, but I'm glad everybody played through it and it didn't slow up this game. Skinny puts it on the ground, tries to attack to the bucket, has the ball stripped away from him. Ty Johnson then lost it, got it back, and then inside the fadeaway, missed it. Ball is going all over the place, and eventually it is off, I believe, of the shoulder of Isaac Morrow. I think that's who last touched it, but sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes you just let the guys in stripes make the call, and you just say, well, that's what they said. They saw it better than I did. We're sitting in the penthouse suite up here. They are closer than we are. 8.5 to go. Offensive foul, I believe.
Ooh, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
They called that on Marcel Stevens. Did you see it?
I think. I mean, the screen was set. I think. I think Lewis Grant might have sold it a little bit. So, I think might have sold it. He definitely hit him on the screen, but not as hard as what I thought he made it look like it did.
Morrow with it. Now Sane. Sane to Morrow, who pops it in. Greeley now in the corner. Stops and pops the three, misses it. Saints are being forced to maybe move too quickly. Now Stevens guarding Kai Johnson. Double team is ready to come, goes out to the corner. And Grant Halliday fires that one upper deck, if I've ever seen it. Timeout on the floor. We will take a quick break on the broadcast. It's an 8-point lead for Western Washington. Saints running out of time to go on a run. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It is 69-61, 7:47 to go. Tyke Thompson inbounds to Jaden Nielsen-Skinner. 5 on the floor for the Saints are Skinny, Thompson, Greeley, Stevens, and Moore. Kyle Greeley gets it, and he is smothered at the rim. Ball taken away. Wilson bringing it up now. Sane with it. Western Washington scores on this possession. It would feel like a very big bucket. Kai Johnson does exactly that. Nails it from the elbow. It is a double-digit lead for Western Washington, who right now is fighting to stay in the GNAC tournament picture. As Jayshawn Moore gets it out to Skinny. Saints need it, and they can't get it. It goes out of bounds, and it is Western Washington ball. The standings right now have Western Washington in a tie for 6th place with Seattle Pacific University. Western Washington, such a hot and cold squad, and that's because of that kind of hot and cold offense. So good, defense has struggled so much, but the defense in the second half has come to play and have held the Saints limited. As Ned gets it in the corner, he goes all the way, misses the layup after taking a lot of contact, and then a foul eventually will be committed as they had more trapped, but they just got a little too hungry trying to get that ball from the St. Martin's post. All up in the Vibrissa. Up right there. Skinny with it. Now Moore to Stevens. This play was drawn up to get Stevens a look. He misses it, but Skinny gets the offensive rebound. Tyke Thompson now for forever to shoot, misses it, and Kyle Greeley had his hands on the rebound before it's poked away from him. The Saints will have the ball under the basket. Stevens will check out. In checks Miles Samuels. Greeley, quick kick. Saints down 8.
I definitely needed that. Needed that shot.
Back to basics in a sense now. Samuels being guarded by Kai Johnson. Oh my goodness. That was, that's a call I'd like to see the flop go as well, the simulation warning, because as Kai Johnson blocks that one, and then it's poked away, out of bounds, still Western Washington ball. If you're not going to call a foul there, then tell me why his head just acted like somebody punched him in the nose. You know, like, if you see that movement, which is part of the reason why Kai Johnson gets so many free throws, and you're not going to call it, then you can't let him continue to get away with that. Like, that's the whole point of the violations. We're trying to get that out of the game. That's why they went kind of overboard with flop calls over the past 2 years. But it doesn't mean you can't punish it anymore when it's pretty blatant. Samuels to the bucket. And the refs have pretty much given up on calling anything at this point. As Samuels' mug going to the bucket. And the ball is eventually scooped up by Western Washington. Wilson lays it in. Back to a 10-point lead for Western Washington. Shaquem Alcindor to the scorer's table to check back in. Under 5 minutes to go here. Saints continue to be on upset alert. Ball out to Kyle Greeley. Kyle Greeley misses it. Offensive rebound, Jayshawn Moore. And here we have our first foul call in about 5 minutes as Moore will head to the line.
I almost feel like that foul call was like still too late. Like he got fouled on the rebound, but then he has to almost get. I know from up here we can't really see, but I mean, essentially like whacked in the face, like on the shot. So I know the foul count is like pretty close right now, but it just kind of seems like these referees they're a little hot and cold. like,
Well, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there doesn't seem to be a lot of consistency, which I think is I not so much. I don't think it's really hurting Western Washington right now, because they're kind of like a hot and cold team anyways. But I think it's really hurting the Saints, that they're not really getting some sort of consistency from the referees right now, especially with 4 minutes left.
First free throw from Moore is down. Big thing when you look at free throws right now, when you accumulate it up, it is Western Washington with 11 of 15 from the line. St. Martin's 9, now 10 of 14. So they're going to be exactly the same on free throws made. But yeah, like you said, it feels like the game has been refereed in these last 10 minutes differently than it was in the first 30. Saints now in a full court press. Velp didn't try that three. Velp's a good three-point shooter. He's still not trying it. Shaquem Alcinder's letting him look at the bucket, but he is absolutely uninterested in doing so. That one goes through. Another big bucket made. And we are seemingly closer and closer to every bucket, feeling like it could put the game out of range for the Saints at this point. Pike Thompson with Sane all the way up in his grill. It is a missed shot, but leaping for the rebound, luckily for the Saints, was an errant hand of a Western Washington player. Saints ball under the basket, down 10. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network. Welcome back here. 75-65 is the score line in terms of points. It's Jonathan Ned's night, 22 for him. Kai Johnson with 18 in his annual homecoming trip. Sane and Wilson each have 10. Saints also have 4 in double figures. Greeley with 15. Shaquem Alcinder on 4 fouls has 12. And Jay Sean Moore and Jaden Nielsen-Skinner have 11 and 10 respectively. St. Martin's basketball under the hoop. 15 on the shot clock because it was an air ball by the Saints that didn't touch the rim. Tyke Thompson will get the inbound. Saints need to score pretty quickly here, and they're not going to get too highfalutin with what they draw up. It is right to Kyle Greeley, the bread and butter for the Saints, gets them a bucket. .320 to go. Kai Johnson with it. Double teamed in the corner. Gets it to Wilson. Briefly, Ned was open under the basket. Now gets it out to Sane. 5 on the shot clock. Ticking down. Sane loops it. Greeley intercepts. 3 minutes to go. 8-point game. St. Martin's needs to strike quick. Skinny looking down low. Velp can't do anything about Shaquem Alcinder. 6-point game. Kai Johnson slowly taking it over half court. They're arguing for an over and back. Nobody makes the call. Shaquem takes another charge. You could see that one coming from a mile away because we've already seen a Shaquem Alcinder charge. And that time he scoped it out, set his feet, and whatever the call was or should have been at half court, it once again falls under the application of ball don't lie as the Saints figure it out And with 2:39 to go, timeout is called on the floor. You and I have been talking about it on the mic and also in between timeouts, but the Shaquem show is working tonight. What's been so good about when they've gone to him, he's just dominated, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, you know, I think, I'm biased, but I have no problem saying that. But, I mean, it's just, like, I mean, his footwork, his touch around the basket is something to be, you know, appreciative. You know what I mean? Like, he has such a good, like, touch around the rim, you know, and that's kind of hard to find, you know, especially with big dudes, you know, because, like, they're so strong, you know, but he really knows how to work his body extremely well, but also just not really think about the physical side, like his IQ of the game. You know, I don't know very many big men that you know, that are stepping in that way, you know, to take a charge. You know, most of them are trying to get that block, you know, maybe something like that. But he's, you know, he's willing to step aside, you know, and then take that charge, right? You know, so, I mean, that results, you know, in a turnover for Western Washington, but also, you know, a free possession for his team, you know. So I think tonight, I think he's really just showed his versatility, you know, on offense and on defense for sure.
And we've talked, I mean, Aaron Landon's talked a lot about two of the key seniors that played a lot of minutes for him last year, in Brandon Bunn and in Hunter Sipe, and trying to look for the guys that can essentially replace those. The plays that he's made a couple times tonight are kind of those Hunter Sipe plays, taking the charge. Hunter Sipe did that in the regular season finale last year. He took a key charge to help the Saints get a win. And this is a Saints squad that doesn't take a ton of charges, as Shaquem is being guarded by Velp down low once again. Needs to get out of the key. Kyle Greeley, step back with a lot of contact, gets it to go. 4-point game, 2:15 to go. Full court press still on, Sane with it. They need to get it over half court, and they do just in time, and sort of a bailout foul is called there to send Kai Johnson to the line to shoot 1-1. I mentioned it earlier, Kai Johnson, for the amount of free throw practice he gets in the middle of a game, he is not as good of a free throw shooter as you would hope. He has not cracked 80%, but today he has shot very well from the charity stripe. 5 of 6, 1-1. Misses it. Huge miss by the hometown kid. Pushes it up the floor to Skinny. Gets it to Samuels. Saints could cut it to a one-possession game. Samuels looking for some contact down under, and he doesn't get it. It is Kai Johnson emerging with the basketball. One of the more well-attended games this year for the Saints. Sane with it. Foul. It will be called on Shaquem Alcindor. That is his 5th. Alcindor will depart the basketball game. His final stat line, 14 points and 5 rebounds. That is a huge loss for St. Martin's. And we talked about kind of the foul call and the ebbs and flows of what the referees have been whistling. That one clearly was a foul, but there have been some ones that I'm sure Shaquem would have loved to be allowed to play a little bit more, as Velp will check out exhausted after having the tough task of playing against Shaquem Alcindor. Another front end of a 1-on-1 missed. That is 4 points being left on the deck in this late going by Western Washington. Kyle Greeley, step back for 3, missed it. Just couldn't get it to go. Ooh, this place would have felt good if that one would have gone down.
Would have erupted. For sure.
Nearly a trap of Kai Johnson in the corner, gets it to Ned. Now Ned guarded by Greeley. Greeley's trying to force some baseline. Can't be too close with that. Timeout called by Western Washington. Right now we have 13 on the shot clock, 1:09 to go. It is not a one-possession game, but it is very close to that at 4 points. 30-second timeout. We're going to stay with you on the broadcast. No matter what happens, make sure to stick with us, because we'll talk with head coach Aaron Landon in the Saints post-game report presented by Oak Larney. Scott Gladstone and Lauren Morris are here with you. Fouls are at 8-8, so that means 1-1 for either side. In terms of other fouls, nobody on the Saints has 4, and nobody on Western Washington has 4. Johnson, Velp, and Morrow have 3. Greeley and Jayshawn Moore have 3 for the Saints. Free throws have been a big storyline over the past minute or two because Western Washington has left points on the deck, and on the other side, the Saints haven't been able to cash in when they have that slight opening given to them by Western Washington. Ned will inbound, Wilson on the floor, as well as Morrow, Johnson, and Singh. Into Kai Johnson, guarded by Samuels. Johnson loses it right to Jay Sean Moore. Skinny pushes it up. Tyke Thompson. They wanted a travel call to the Western Washington bench. Back to Tyke Thompson. Tyke Thompson for 3! 1-point game! Western Washington to bring it up. Wow.
Big shot by Tyke Thompson.
Ice in Thompson's veins. Crowd coming alive. Kai Johnson with it. Playing a stone's throw from where he grew up right now. Trying to emerge victorious against the Saints for the first time in his career. Trapped in the corner. Gets it to Ned. 5 on the shot clock. Ned in ISO with Thompson. Shoots it over him. It's missed. Rebound. Grabbed by Skinny. Gets it to Samuels. What an incredible play to get away from that. Now, torches to the bucket. Put up by Greeley. Missed it. Offensive rebound, Moore. And he's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 1-on-1. Jay Sean Moore will head to the line.
He has had, he has had a phenomenal rebounding game. I will say that he has 7 rebounds and 11 points right now. Jay Sean Moore, he has came up with some very clutch rebounds, especially this one right now.
3 of 3 from the free throw line today. He has a total of 11 points. The Saints will need to foul immediately if this one is missed. Got to catch your breath after a key exciting play. Moore will shoot 1-1. Makes it. Tie game. 75-75 if he makes the next one. The Saints take their first lead since the 6.5 mark in the first half. It was 27-26 the last time the Saints were in front. Missed it. Kai Johnson with it. 10 seconds to go. Western will have a chance to win it at the buzzer. Taken away. Samuels with 4 on the clock. Samuels to the bucket. The Saints are up by 2. Ball inbounded to foul. Samuels takes it away again. The Saints win. The Saints win. What an exciting finish here at Marcus Pavilion. I don't believe what I just saw.
But I remember we said this in the very beginning of this first half. This game was going to come down to points, and who was going to score the most. I mean, that was a great play by Miles Samuelson.
In a game that is constant, these two have played such good offense, but it is a defensive play that gets the job done. Samuels with the takeaway and the layup to win it. An absolute pick-6 interception return for a touchdown. That's how you do it. And he caps it off with another steal. Wow, you could not have drawn that up any better. Everybody in this crowd, you left it right till the very end. But the Saints find a way, and that's what good teams do. I'm
No, I mean, it's honestly just kind of like speechless. But I really think just like that, like Jay Sean's, just great rebound in that play. I think it just sums up what what St. Martin's men's basketball team truly is.
Wow. This place, that was. Have you heard this place louder than that? That was close.
No.
I kind of blacked out. Everybody listening understood at least what happened, especially if you're like driving back to Seattle or something and you were listening and you had audio only. We did our best. I did my best. And And I hope we get a chance to talk to Miles Samuels post-game. I know we'll talk to Aaron Landon. The Saints are now back in first place in the GNAC. MSU Billings has lost tonight, so the road to the three-peat is now very much within sights once again, thanks to the Nighthawks of Northwest Nazarene. Huh. There's a lot to unpack there at the end.
No, for sure. A ton.
A defensive play to win it after these two teams have combined. You've complimented on math in the past. I'm not gonna be able to calculate the total amount of points scored. It was 152 today, and it was 217 the first time they played. They play a lot of very good basketball. Just winning a game like that and coming away and trying to take it as, especially when you have a guy like Caden Hansen out, just how good does that feel? They lost to Alaska Anchorage on Saturday. To get back on track, what does that do for a team to just find a way to win, especially a game where everybody in this gym had thoughts percolate in their heads that maybe they weren't going to be able to pull it off?
I mean, I think it just kind of puts everything, like into perspective.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Especially coming off, that very tough loss. They lost by 3 at Alaska Anchorage, and they were, they were supposed to come home, with 2 dubs. I think it just really just tells the story of no matter what game, no matter where it is, the St. Martin's team, they're going to play hard into the very, very end. You know what I mean? And I think it also just tells a story that, whoever they're facing, they're probably going to get their best game at this point. This is the second half of the season here,
Yep.
And everyone wants to beat St. Martin's.
Yep.
That is essentially what this is now. Second half season, people want they want upsets. And I think tonight, I don't think the Saints are going to let that happen at all.
Perfect. Well, we'll take a quick break. Lauren, we will see you first play on Saturday at 3 o'clock. The St. Martin's women's team takes on Western Oregon, and then you will join me on the broadcast. The men's basketball team takes on Simon Fraser. So if you're checking out, make sure you just join back in then. If you want to hear from Aaron Landon and Miles Samuels, stick around for 2 seconds. We'll be right back with the Saints postgame report presented by Blarney's. Scott Gladstone here with head coach Aaron Landon and Miles Samuels after a thrilling.
Hey,
got to get the selfie live on broadcast
send
there.
That to Hugh Samuels right now. Hugh, I know, huh? Oh, never mind.
Oh well, maybe he'll come up and take it himself then.
He doesn't want that.
This is a very exciting 77-75 victory. I don't know if I'm the first to report to you, just to look around the scoreboard around the league. NNU downed Billings in Billings today. So you guys are back into a tie for first place in the GNAC standings. A lot of games to be played. But to come out of here and in the first game against Western Washington, which was completely defined by offense, and this game that first half was a lot of offense, both teams locked it down a lot on defense. At the end, it's a defensive play, really, that wins it by Miles Samuels here. What do you have to say about just finding a way to win at the end?
Yeah, craziest part of the night. Miles Samuels playing some defense. Got back up by 40. No, I'm just kidding. He'll wait. I haven't even seen this. When you give up 48 points in the first half, they don't give you box scores. That was about to be locked out of the house tonight. That was look at that. What a deal. And this is what we'll talk about. Sorry, the end was awesome. And honestly, it's just as cool as, I mean, the play's big for all of us. It's just as cool that sure is his dad right there across the country. That's just one of those moments that God gives you in life. Sorry, I'm not, yeah. Joe Landon never got those moments. I wasn't making plays like that at the end, but that's one that they'll share. That's incredible. Didn't even know your dad was in town. This first half deal, a lot of that's self-inflicted. We got to just get better because that's us right there. Like 48 in the first half, 27 in the second, and just a work in progress. Hopefully there's a dose of humility in this, along with what we've been through the last week. Not just dropping the game in Anchorage, but just not playing up to, you know, our level of play and our standards out in Fairbanks.
Let me ask you about two guys. Obviously, Miles makes the game-winning play, but I think we got to highlight down the stretch the play of Jayshon Moore because he had a couple big rebounds late there, including the play that eventually gets one of the free throws that ties it up. And then Shaquem Alcindor, when he was called upon in that second half, not only defensively, he took 2 charges today. A lot of the play was to try to draw him out and ISO him with Kai Johnson, which could have maybe gone better, but it could have gone worse. And he was up to the challenge in that. And then obviously offensively taking advantage of his matchup when he got it. What do you say about those 2 bigs being able to take over and make those plays when we needed to down the stretch?
It got better as the game went on. Those guys did. Keem got better as the game went on. Jay got a hell of a lot better as the game went on. And Jay made some big defensive plays, especially on the glass like you highlighted. Keem got better as the game went on both ends. You know, regardless of if Kai Johnson hits that shot or not, those are contested threes. One of them is a step-back three. So when you have a guy that's 6'8", 260 pounds, and that's planned, not like we love that. Obviously, Kai Johnson's like one of the best scorers in America, so that's not how we drew it up. But you have to know that that's a possibility, that your 5 could end up on an island with a great scorer, and he, ended up fouling him that last time, but that's good on-ball defense, and a great offensive player made a really tough shot. So both those guys, better as the game went on, and just a lot of resilience, which for a team, for an individual, is like the number one indicator of success, I think, in life or in a season, just your ability to be resilient. So a lot of people will remember this, and God bless this guy, because you don't coach that. That's just a winner making a play like that. But the way we defended in the second half and stayed with it defensively, even though our offense couldn't really pop, and we weren't having sort of the classic Saints at home, offensive night. What a resilient night, just to stay locked in defensively. Just feel lucky, not smart, and blessed to have some good players.
Finally, when you look at the second half of the season, which is now started and is underway, obviously some big goals in the sense of kind of how you want the standings to end up and what you guys want to achieve. But how do you look at a matchup coming up with the Simon Fraser squad that gave you a good run at their place up in Burnaby, and just like every team is going to be, it's going to be the best shot that the Saints are going to get. They have it circled. Nobody wants you guys to three-peat. And how do you set the goals for the rest of the season?
The goal's been there since the beginning of the season. And, when you lose a game, there's a good chance those goals are compromised. It's to be honest, it's not the healthiest thing to live like that, because if we lose this game tonight, or any game, the one in Anchorage, for example, you get on the plane and you feel like you blew it, like the whole thing, you just you messed it all up. Which is counter to our job is as coaches, and it's counter to what their job is as players. Their job is to get better, and we'll, celebrate a win. But I feel like the last 10 days, we haven't gotten better, and players need to get better individually, and the team needs to get better together, and coaches got to get better so that we can put our players in a better position to have success. But that's what it's about. So it's, you set these goals, and you're in this incredible conference, as tough as there is, and all those teams at the top. And then you goes on. That was on the road in Billings.
Yep.
Yeah, like what a tough place to go and get a road win. It's just, you can't live like that, where you're just playing not to lose, and if you lose one game, it's all over. We're 8-2. We're a work in progress. We talk about, where we're at in the standings, trying to frame it as 1-0. Like 1-0 tonight puts us back in a tie for first. But the truth is, 0-1, it can't be this devastating end of your season, because we have to get better. I think we learned last year, we went 1-0 and 1-0 and 1-0, and we cut down that net. And then, to be honest, we had 2 other goals that we didn't reach at the conference tournament and the NCAA tournament, and that hurts. So our job is just to get better for March. That's our job. And if along the way we're getting better, this team should win a lot of games. And that's not, that's really on coaches more than anything. We have to do a better job and get these guys better and keep that mindset.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Yeah. God bless Miles. Hang on now. I just want to point this out. This dude took a game ball like this is a school where we just gave. That's we got to have a good practice tomorrow if you want to keep that, man. Give me a break.
Here with Miles Samuels now. Obviously, Miles, you were the hero in this game, and I just got to go right to that last play. You guys are all tied up, and you need to make a stop on defense. And I'm saying on the broadcast that they're gonna have a chance to win it. How did you, in your mind, change that from it's their chance to win it to I'm gonna take this ball back and we're gonna have the chance to win it?
I was kind of thinking the same thing you were, just try to get a stop, but. I think he crossed over back to his left, and I kind of read it and jumped it, and then I was able to get a hand on it and go make the play. So it was just good instincts, I guess, on my end.
This was probably one of the more well-attended games,
right.
But it's kind of cool because I just found out at the same time Aaron did that your dad is able to make it out. What does it mean for you? Just whether you guys lost by 20 tonight or whether you won by 20 or whether you make the game-winning bucket with seconds to go, what does it mean for you, especially being so far away from home in Florida, to have your dad out here and obviously somebody who's probably been a big part of your basketball career?
Sure. Both him and my mom. My mom actually comes tomorrow, so she'll be here Saturday. So it's just a blessing to be able to have them come out here. It's a really far trip for them. So I'm just grateful and blessed that he was able to come out here and I was able to do something for him. Yeah, it means a lot.
When it's all said and done, because you get another steal there at the end of the game to kind of boost that a little bit, but then the team's kind of coming around you and you guys are all celebrating together. What's that feeling amongst that brotherhood in that kind of celebration circle? What do you guys take out of the kind of connection that you guys are building this year as a team?
It's a great feeling, man. Those are my guys. Those are my brothers. I think everybody will say the same thing about each other. We all love each other. We do everything together. It's been a long week after the loss at Anchorage. We've been in them film sessions every day. A lot of us getting cooked, including me. But, yeah, we just had to come out and do what we had to do, man. Wanted to come back and get a win, and that's what we did. So that's all that matters. I love those guys, man.
All right. Well, congrats, Miles. Enjoy the time with your family.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Saints get the win thanks to Miles Samuels' steal and finish with seconds to go. The final score of this contest, 77-75, a game that everybody hopefully watching and those who attended here at Marcus Pavilion will not forget in the near future. For all of us that make this broadcast possible, including our statisticians, David Cano and Ibrahim Mustafa, our cameraman, Zane Leposki, and our stream producer, Sydney Henderson. For both my color commentator, Lauren Morris, and myself, please have a great trip home. I don't know why I said that. You're probably already home. Maybe you're traveling home. I need to go home. Have a great rest of your night, and stay safe out there.